Oh. Come on, Anderson, where are you?
Good morning, Richard.
Good morning. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
How's things with you, Anderson? You well?
Honestly, thank you for giving me the chance to get back on my feet. Just I've recently had some issues with families and basically some things I had to handle, and I didn't have enough time with everything. And recently, just had to organize at home, so everything just bundled up for New Year's, and it was heavy. So
Yeah, busy.
Thank you for the help, though.
Busy times, mate. Eh?
Honestly, it got me a bit. So yeah, and I even haven't even got the chance to do what you told me to do. So I was going to say we can do it today together.
Well, that's okay. I mean, thanks for replying to my message yesterday. So with there's a few learners in your position, Anderson, whereby we're due for the course is due for completion at the end of March. So, I mean, I spoke to my line manager about it, and he said, look, realistically, the amount of work that there is between that we'll need to catch up on, we need to try and consolidate it. And so there is a way of basically consolidating all of the work that we need within kind of 3 sessions.
Of course.
So that would be the way we fast track it in line with what I messaged you yesterday.
Definitely, not definitely. So would that be you when you spend 5 hours? You meant entire like a day for me and you 5 hours.
Yeah.
Now that'd be great. Literally, I like that idea of it. Like God sent literally the time that perfect. You're saying.
Yeah, and we can either do that. We can either do that remotely, like over Teams, like we're doing now, cool. Where we could do like 2 hours in the morning, and then 2 hours in the afternoon. And just break it down a little bit rather than just bang out 5 hours in one go, because that might be a bit much.
No, understood. That's what I was thinking. Either you was gonna come, we'll probably meet somewhere, or we're gonna do it online. But I think online.
Yeah, we could do either.
Okay, definitely.
I'm happy to do either. Effectively, what's being done at this point is one of the 2 IQAs, so the 2 ladies that basically assess all the work, all the portfolio of work that goes into the coursework. They are putting together basically a fast track bundle, whereby it's effectively just covering off what we need. So what I would say is, for today, we'll still go through quite a few of the resources,
cool.
And try and work through the assignments that will bring our percentage up. But then after that, we'll try to book another session in either at the end of this month, and we'll try and do a full day at the end of January. We'll also try and do a full day at the end of February and in March as well. So we'll probably need 3 of these to break the back of the qualification. But as I said before, Anderson, I don't doubt that you've got the capability to do it. If I didn't think you could do it, then I'd be saying we probably need to have a break in learning or come off the course. But I've got no doubt that you'll be able to do it. So
Just not even me myself. I know that I can do it myself. It's just honestly, like you said, life comes across and it messes up. So I'm ready now, honestly. And I like the plan that you're saying about the couple hours. And if we push it from now to March, it should honestly.
yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I would say the plan would be. And the good thing is we can do this remotely because effectively it's just gathering the evidence that we need. Now it will mean putting, other than the days that we spend, it will mean you putting the time in as well. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and say that's all we have to do. There will be more to it than that.
Thank you for extra. No, of course. Understood.
But really it's just getting you through until the end of March. So if we can, I'd set a date. If we can finish by April, which I know might seem a long time off, but it will come around soon, and there's still quite a lot to do. So look, that's the plan that I've got. That's the plan that I've got. That's what I wanted to discuss with you today. But I saw you.
The dates that you've got already planned, yeah, you'll be sending them to me.
Yeah, that's it. So for today will almost be like a normal session, and we'll work through what we need to, and then what we'll do is we'll plan another session if you're available at the end of January, another one in February, another one in March. So there'll be three longer sessions if you like.
Yeah.
And then on the back of that, we'll just need to gather evidence, and the majority of those that time and those days, Anderson, is going to be us having conversations and discussions and using a Q&A to really gather the evidence and really just map in that you can demonstrate that you have a knowledge and skills and you understand behaviours behind each element of the course. So that's really what it's about. But I saw you sent over some dates for February, which is good.
So these are days that I'm completely off, where, like you said, if we want to do morning and then afternoon, there's a possibility where I can obviously assist there.
I think that, yeah. I mean, look, I'll always try to work around what's best for yourself.
No, and I don't mind still doing these morning meetings just to keep checking up on the times. Like, for example, after you leave me with the work that I need to do, I'll continue, and then I'll come back to you and talk to you about the rest in the quick meetings in the morning.
Okay. So I'd say at this point, let's try and book in a day for February. If we could do, I'd say you put down that you could do the 2nd or the 3rd. Yep. Anderson, is that okay?
Not the 3rd, yep.
So I say let's try and get a date in as soon as possible. The chances are after today, I'll probably get in touch with you again. Even if it's just like an hour's catch up.
Of course.
Just to plan out exactly what that day is going to look like and what it will involve, because I'll need to know more about it as well at this point. So, right, if we could do Wednesday the 2nd, Anderson, as one of our longer days.
Yep.
And then you mentioned after the 20th this month, you'll be able to let me know for March as well.
Yeah, after this month, literally, I was doing the work today at home. I mean, at work. So I was basically organizing the rota for the next few months.
Yeah.
Just to see what it is, and this is where I got my dates, where I'm officially off.
So the 2nd.
Just to double check now. You said the 2nd of February, yeah?
Yeah. Are you able to do any more dates later on in February, Anderson, as well?
So just to clarify, I think the 2nd was a mistake. Right now I've just confirmed it's got the 3rd, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, and the 21st.
The 21st. Okay. Let's do could we do Thursday the 3rd?
Yeah, of course. No, third, definitely.
And I'd say let's also do Monday the 21st as well.
21st, yeah.
Okay, let me send you those now.
This is the long day ones, yeah. We're gonna send
these will be 2 long days, yeah. And then we'll do one more in March as well. Okay, 2 seconds, Anderson. Sorry. Okay, bud.
Yeah, sorry, I've got to deliver these.
Okay. Have a lovely day. Be a good girl. Sorry, Anderson. My little girl's just going to preschool.
No worries. No. I literally had my niece a couple of days ago for New Year's as well. Oh, it was beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, New Year's was beautiful. It's just gonna be heavy after, Lord. How old is the baby? Okay.
Oh, she's 3.5. Yeah, she's all good. She's a lot of fun.
Because I always find that, well, I won't say that with boys as well, but I don't know. I have more of this enjoyment when I have with a little girl. Like if I was ever gonna have a daughter, that would be me having a daughter. Definitely. Senator, and I want a daughter, baby. Great. So yeah. So the 3rd and the 21st of February would be all booked.
Yeah. I'm gonna create some meeting planners now, Anderson. So you've got those in, so you can pop those in your diary.
We can just go through the emails, maybe the ones that we recently sent me, so I can just clear out. That's what I've been trying to do through yesterday. I was just looking at the old emails you sent me, trying to get back to my organizing what needs to be done first.
The other huge plus point we have, Anderson, is that you don't have to do functional skills exams. So we can solely focus on the main bank of the course.
Okay.
So that's a massive plus point for us at this point.
Perfect. So is that the one? Because that's exactly the reason I just got red flag now. It was with the English support, and math support.
Yeah.
Do I need to do those as well?
So, look, in line with the course criteria, it's still really important that we do stretch and challenge maths and English as part of every session to make sure that your skills are upkept. So we will include elements of maths and English. Now, look, what that might be is we might use I might assess some of your completed work, for example, for English reading and writing, and we might go through that and say, oh, you've done really well here, or this is what we need to do with grammar here, and etc. So we can use what we're doing as part of our sessions. We don't necessarily need to do it as something completely different. And with the maths as well, you mentioned you're doing rotas this morning and probably working with budgets and things like that. There is a section of the course which is like data analysis. So we can use that as a little bit of stretch and challenge maths as well.
Cool.
And I might just set you some other stretch and challenge functional skills bits to do, but I say it's a big plus point that you don't need to do the exams, but we'll still need to do a little bit of stretch and challenge maths and English in every session, because that's still really important.
Was because I don't want to obviously put too much attention into things I don't know yet. So I was asking you just to basically lay out a map of what I got to do first, second, and then I'll just start following what I need to do first.
Yeah, we'll go through that today. But look, ultimately, I've had a quick look on your Smart Assessor, and I don't know if you've got access to Smart Assessor now.
I'm logged in now. Yeah.
You're logged in now. Okay, brilliant. So we'll have a look at your Smart Assessor profile, because there's a few things that we need to check off and forms to fill out today. just to make sure that the housekeeping on your profile is up to date, as well as your time log.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
another big off the job hours. That's another big one that we're going to have to do.
So you see the budgeting and all of these things I do with my workplace. Like,
Yeah,
can I include that in the description log?
yeah.
Perfect.
Yes, anything where you're using statistics, basically we can include as stretch and challenge maths,
Great, great.
because that's numeracy, that's number work that you're working on. Okay. But ultimately, what we can do is what we'll spend the second half of the session doing today is looking back at the last 2 or 3 sessions, at the resources that we haven't done.
Exactly. Yeah, no,
And just trying to get those checked off. So that what I'll leave you with today between now and the 3rd of February is basically to try and get as much build as much portfolio of evidence as possible using these assignments and resources. And they're all there. They're already there on your Smart Assessor. You just need to look through them and complete the resources. That's why I say at that point, once my IQA gives me the kind of the rundown of what exactly we need to gather in terms of evidence to fast track the course, we'll be able to then decipher and establish what you've already done, and then how we're going to gather the rest of the evidence required. Because then come the end of March, when you get to completion date, what we need to do is get you through to what's called Gateway. Now, Gateway, because you're on APO3 team leader, that will include a discussion with the IQA.
Gateway.
That's it. So you'll need to get through to Gateway.
Okay.
So really, all of this month is going to be geared towards building your portfolio of evidence. So getting through as many resources as possible, getting through as many assignments as possible, getting those uploaded to Smart Assessor, and I will then map those in and sign those off, and your progress percentage will move up. What we'll then see in February, we'll concentrate on your presentation. So as part of this gateway, in terms of completing the course, you will need to do a presentation based on the course content, and you'll also need to do a discussion with the IQA where they'll use like a Q&A technique to basically ask you questions about the course, about your off-the-job hours, about your portfolio evidence, just so you can basically back up the work that we've done.
Okay.
So the February session is going to be predominantly working on your presentation, and the one at the end of February is predominantly going to be working on your discussion. Now that's going to leave us March basically to hopefully tie up any loose ends, do what we need to do, put everything together, so that come your end date on the 22nd of March, we know that we're ready for your endpoint assessment. Basically, that's what we call it, the EPA, endpoint assessment.
EPA.
Get you through to Gateway. This is the goal here, and then you're done. Hopefully.
No, hopefully it doesn't seem too bad. Like I said, honestly, it's just getting the work done. That's why today I'm trying to take as much notes as I can.
Anderson, that's what it's going to be, mate. It's going to be committing the time. And like, as I say, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is quite a lot of work to get done. But I know that we can do it.
No, of course.
So it's
now
just
I've got overtime. I can actually start putting the work inside when I'm there. Because I'm doing management shifts now. So obviously I don't do as much like with the patrolling and everything. So I'm able to just handle like I said, the rotors, give me things that will push me up more in the situation of like time
Okay.
off the job.
Okay, excellent.
So there's a possibility with everything. Definitely, hopefully, let's do it. Okay, so
Okay.
okay, wait.
What we can do, Anderson, is if I share my screen, and then if you could log into your smart assessor as well, if possible.
I'm in.
Okay, so this is your profile.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a few things we need to address quite quickly here. So the first two we can do today, no problems. So where you've got the purple box here, new documents to sign.
Yeah. So how
If you
do I?
want to go into those.
Yeah. I'm in now.
Okay. So if you want to go to the new docs to sign purple box on your dashboard.
Yeah, I'm in that now. I'm exactly where you are right now.
Okay. So if you then hover where it says action on the right hand side, in blue you've got sign open document. If you click on where it says sign.
Correct. You see, when I clicked on it the first time, I tried. What do you click first?
If you just click sign rather than open document, you need to be quite specific with where you're hovering over.
Oh, okay, yeah, I realized that because I was trying to click sign for learner, but you have to be specific, like you said, right in the middle to click. Understood, no worries. So I'm on now where it's supposed where we'll click on sign and it drops off the bar. That's it.
That's it. So where you've got where it says assessor, my box should already be ticked
Correct.
for a lot of these things. So all you need to do is tick the learner box and save.
And save. Done. So save. Sign and save. All done for the first one.
That's it. If we sign off all of those.
Ah, cool. So let me do the rest. There you go.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so that's one job done. The next one we'll do is the grey EILP box on the right hand side, where it's got the camera in it.
So back to the main menu.
That's it.
So what does EILP mean stand for again?
So effectively, that is it's a 3 monthly kind of summary check of where you are with things.
Oh, okay. Summary checks.
So we've signed some of these off already, but we signed one of them off already, but we just need to sign the rest off.
And so which one do I have to sign off?
But all you need to do is, so that the most recent one, we can see the 26th of November. So we'll need to do one more of these in February, but
Okay.
we'll deal with that in February. But where it says template name, EILP V1,
Yep.
if you click on that,
Correct.
and then scroll, and then just scroll right to the bottom of the screen, and there should be a pink button saying sign off right at the bottom.
Yep. Just click on it.
Just click on that and sign it off. So these are going to be for the old ones. The most recent one, Anderson, we'll go through together now.
What's that you got there? Oh, great. Well, that's your own. Yeah, so I've signed off that one.
Okay.
I just go back.
That's it.
Mm.
That's it. For each one, if you could just sign that off.
Where's that, Richard? That's all done for you.
Okay. So are all of those signed off now, Anderson?
That's correct.
They're all signed off. Okay. Now the most recent one in November. Okay, I will fill this out in line with what I've got down for your information. So is JJ still your line manager?
That's correct. Yeah.
So JJ is still the manager, so I can fill that out. You've already completed level of English, yes. Maths, yes. ICT. Have you got any previous ICT qualifications, Anderson?
Which I don't think so.
Okay.
No. I'm pretty good at computers, but I don't have any qualification on that.
Okay. So with your previous trainers, did they explain the appeals procedure to you, and do you understand it?
Appeal procedures, no.
Okay, that's okay. I can send you that. It's basically a document for you to read through.
Okay.
But I can send you that to read through it, and then we can check that off the next time. We've then got. Please state what if you have learned in your teaching and learning sessions. Now, that's predominantly going to be for today and for the rest of the sessions. That's going to be assessment, both for stretch and challenge English and maths, using numeracy within budgeting and what you're already doing. And we're also going to use documents that you've already done for English as well.
Okay.
How have you been able to apply new learning in your workplace?
That question we're going to ask now. The
Yeah.
new learning that I recently learned is to manage my team better, speak to them easier, understand.
Okay.
Be able to obviously implement certain, just don't remember at the moment, but implement certain skills that obviously will help all of us work better. Bear with me. I use a template so I can show them. So mainly use SWOT with my colleagues.
Okay.
I use the SWOT analysis and I use the 360 one also. So
Okay.
they all can help each other.
So for feedback as well.
So feedback, that's correct. No, and I also make sure I keep updating my one. So I believe that you can update your one regularly,
You can.
Yeah, so I've been trying to tell him that obviously every day when you're working, you will see more and more progress with yourself. SWOT. So obviously I tell him that they've got good strengths. So sometimes, like for example, today I had one of my new workers, one of my new colleagues that he's not really new. He's new to the computer and the control room area.
Yeah.
I had to train him, make him feel more secure in the situation. So I pulled out one of these, explaining to him that I use my strengths in when it comes to the situations of handling clients and calls, and I make sure that I pay attention to my weaknesses,
Yeah.
which is when it comes to mostly like many things where I have public speaking, for example, one of them. But I try to help myself from that by maintaining that conversation with the clients.
Okay, brilliant. So from that, you're able to, pass on your own knowledge and an understanding of kind of communication,
Of course.
why it's important, and you understand that that's going to be performance based as well. So the more feedback you give to people, the more they can understand that they can move forward and they understand a little bit more about the job role, and hopefully that's going to be reflected within their performance.
And of course, and I've been talking because obviously we've got groups, so the management team will have conversations. So I think I don't know if you met Moshe and Miguel.
Yeah.
So they're part of the group. So basically, obviously, as we're the controllers of the nights and days, we maintain a conversation between us to know that what each of our colleagues have wrong with, issues with, and how can we help them.
Yep.
That's it. I think it's improved. I'm not gonna lie to you. The building has improved. We have
Okay,
got quite a lot of rewards.
Okay, excellent. So how are you managing that process, Anderson? Do you have meetings? Do you have weekly catch-up meetings?
So we do mostly it's off record meetings, so we can speak about without having the issue of people thinking that we're obviously talking about them. So mostly we just go for walks. So after work, we just sit down and just say, hello, how did they go, and what do you think is improved and what needs to be improved. So sometimes we will speak about like managing and organizing the systems.
Yeah.
Just organize how the work should be easier to grab in case one of us is not there and we have to do the job to someone else that's obviously brand new to the system, to the new system, and obviously into the role. So that's what I was explaining to my colleague today, and I was at the same time showing my new colleague that was basically in the new field. So I was explaining to him, look, so this is basically a folder way. If you had to access things quicker, it's for you. As obviously we in the other team, obviously I say controllers, we already know the systems, we know what we're clicking, where we're going. So we try and make it easy for everyone, just in case. Like I said to everyone, if we obviously improve our work and make sure that the work seems easier for others, we don't need to worry about it when we're off holidays.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so that seems quite inclusive, Anderson, as well. So you're doing that with everyone across the team.
Basically, yeah. I just don't speak to JJ because he's always on day shift and I don't have the time.
Yeah.
But my manager that I work with nighttime, obviously, as I speak to him, he portrays this towards JJ, showing him. So JJ does know that we are managing well and we're doing well work. He doesn't know that it's coming from the course, but he knows that it's coming.
That's good. Well, that's really positive that you're able to demonstrate that and use what you're learning on the course in in practical
Even though I haven't had the
situations.
time to physically had all my learning, which I think it would probably boost my knowledge and skill sets better.
Yeah.
But with just the basic knowledge of like body language, knowing how people speak, which I obviously have an interest to myself, which I had to have a study. Having this obviously give a better understanding and better explaining to people is what helped me. So for example, the SWOT analysis, I used to do it myself, but it wasn't in the sense of like how it was designed in that box or created for that sense. I would just say, look, this is me, I need to create from my mistakes, or basically change my negative into positive.
Okay, brilliant. And would you say you're doing that with everybody, Anderson, as well? So you're doing that with managers, you're doing that with staff, with your team, and with clients as well?
Correct. So with my managers and we got many managers. We got obviously our security manager, we got building management, and then we got hire management.
Okay.
So I make sure that with everyone I portray this, how do I call it, positive outcome of everything. Yeah. And it comes from mostly the courses that I'm studying and obviously the work that I have from Smart Assessor. So it's made me able to like show, even though I'm quite young in the building, a lot of my colleagues and management do respect me for the way I portray my work, which for me is a really good upping.
Okay. Okay, that's really good, Anderson. So you understand as well. So through talking to these guys, you can, and through using appropriate communication, you can build effective relationships.
Of course.
Do you understand that you might need to adapt your approach sometimes, Anderson, depending on a situation or depending on a staff member?
That is correct, because there's times that you can't really judge or what's the word, conclude someone's life or what's happening when they're not at work. So there have times when you have officers come in moody. I try to make them understand that we all come from the same place. Obviously, we come to work and we got our own place. But at the end of the day, we need to understand that the problems or the issues that we have at home, we try to control that when we do come home. Like obviously, I tell my colleagues, like it's not something that I should do. It's not part of my job, but I wouldn't mind having a little conversation about something that can help you relax in a sense. So even if you just for airing yourself out, just to like speak about something, you don't really specifically need to tell me exactly what you have issues. But it's like, for example, when we had a conversation, me and you, I just told you, and you completely understood. It's like that. It's like something I try to do with my colleagues. So they come to work knowing that, you know what, you got support, even if you're not at home having support, or if you're having struggles at home, you got support at work. So basically, I call him a little family. That's what I say to him.
Okay, brilliant. You feel that really helps you build relationships with staff and managers and clients, and okay, excellent. Do you think your approach varies at all depending on who you're dealing with, Anderson? So if you're dealing with a member of staff, would you deal with them the same as how you would deal with a client, for example?
I will keep the energy the same, but I won't deal with them the same because obviously there's professionalism in every place. So certain people I can obviously talk to them in their way of understanding me. So for example, if I was explaining to you, I've got younger generations also walking around the building. So for me to handle even just like people of the public, I got to change my way of speaking because if I start speaking to them a certain way as well, they'll feel either patronized or I'm there to bother them. At the end of the day, I'm security, so they do think these sort of things. Like that's what we train for, to understand people's understanding of thinking and how we can adapt to them. With managers, I try to give them the highest and the best quality of customer service I can. Make sure that obviously they're attended to what they need and they know that they're secured. They don't need to have no issues. You got your job to worry about. We got our job to worry about. So let's keep. And then that's honestly, I do get a lot of good feedback from the building management as well. Like, a lot of people do say that they enjoy the conversation, the happiness of Andy, the energy that he brings.
Okay, brilliant.
It is showing, which I'm proud.
All right, excellent. That's really pleasing to know. Just with you mentioned before, Anderson, you have meetings with the management meetings. Do you also have staff meetings as well?
So it's not really like how do I put it on paper and pen. It says that we do, but we do our little regular or monthly meetings just to speak about it. Or we have little events where we speak about. So how we do sometimes is depending on the night. If the night is going smoothly and obviously it doesn't seem like we've got a lot of work, we will start picking on that day to either train my guys to work, but in a different way, give them more comfort. And so it does really help. Honestly, it does.
Okay, how do you when you're within these meetings, Anderson? How do you? I mean, you just mentioned that you don't always plan them as such, so you must know that there's an agenda in place in terms of things to.
There's times that we read the energy of the workers.
Okay.
They'll come in a bit not in that mood of working. So part of my job, which I think Miguel likes when I work with him, is that I try to maintain the energy high. It's not for the sake of it's mostly for the sake of your. I say to a lot of people, emotional intelligence. You got to think how you feel in your head. So if you feel better, you will start doing better. You start feeling that the day goes faster. But if you start panicking or start having, trust me, I have my own speaking from experience. Comes to a point where you're just like, I just can't be bothered. So I remain that meetings. I would say it happens once a week. Every once a week when I come back after my period of resting, I make sure I have everyone conversating about what's happened in the last few days. At the same time, we have messages on WhatsApp, so we make sure we're up to date anyways. But when it comes to the officers, we like to conversate in person so we can see is this person feeling a bit down.
So there's definitely value in that, Anderson, isn't there? There's I know communication is key for what you guys do, and you're using it constantly all the time, both verbal, like face-to-face, verbal over radios, reports, audits, so written stuff. So communication is a huge part of your job, and it's interesting you mentioned about the SWOT and the feedback as well.
Because you know what is funny, I've never knew about it. It helped not only just like my colleagues, but it also helped certain family members of my in my household.
Okay.
They've struggled with studying or struggled with understanding how to grow, or they don't understand themselves. Personally, I've always looked into emotional intelligence and body languages because I've always liked that behavior. Knowing what I portray is what I give, and I know if I portray well, it will give back well, basically. But with my family, I didn't know how to explain it to them. When SWOT analysis came through, and I started having more of like knowledge, I started explaining to him better, and obviously it helped a lot. Like for my little brother, it helped him a lot.
Okay, brilliant.
So it has been a big impact, which is crazy. I never really understood it. And that's how I use it to my colleagues. I make them understand that, look, it's not something big. It's something you can find on the internet. But believe me, after you find it, you start realizing it and understanding it, you'll see yourself in progress. And obviously, one of my colleagues or two started realizing it was true, checked it around. And that's when we started with communication, building the trust, and works out better, honestly.
Okay, brilliant. So with the meetings as well, Anderson, presumably you then can assign work to different members of staff once you've decided what needs to be done?
Yeah, of course. So how it works is they will come in straight in as soon as we come in. So I always say to the management, mostly us, that we try to come in at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes early because we know obviously everyone comes in just on the dot.
Yeah.
So we can obviously greet them at the same time, give them the handover about what they need to do for the night. If anything, like for example, if we have any events going on, if we have any VIPs on the site, obviously we check their uniform, see if they're up to date, just in case. Like we say, like it's not because we don't trust you for your work, and obviously, like I said to them a lot, I'm younger than you yourself, so I just don't want you to feel like I'm pressurizing you based on your looks. But I do want you to understand that the appearance is something good that we can use.
Yeah.
So when they do come in, they feel like, yeah, I'm ready. So obviously they look, and they show me, and I'm very proud. I'm like, I'm glad, guys. Here's your radio. Go ahead. This is your route. Because we basically share out the rota, so everyone won't feel a bit like, oh, you're always getting the same one now. So that every day, the persons that are working, if they're working for 4 days, they'll have to swap through each rota. So rotation.
Okay, so it's always equal. There's always fairness.
Yeah, quality and all. Because like we say, even with shift picking, like if it comes to 1 month where sometimes shifts a bit low, and not everyone can get much, we literally share it to where everyone has the exact same. Unless you obviously need some sort of other help, we'll give you some other sites to go to. But in our site, we try and maintain any help that we can together, honestly. Which I appreciate and I like a lot.
Okay, brilliant. So really, what we've described there, so you've managed to demonstrate how you support the development of your team, Anderson, using organisational objectives, meetings. You're able to prioritise work and allocate work to people, and you found that works effectively with team building because everybody's got the same opportunity and people respond well to that.
No, definitely. Like what I've seen is a lot of progress in a lot of all my offices, I would say, in all of them. In the sense of being more confident in themselves, in the sense of actually enjoying the job better, in the sense of.
Okay, so you can see when you're getting everybody involved that how you can develop your team, both as a team but also as individuals, and how this will affect their performance positively.
That's correct.
So that's understanding how cross-team working can benefit the whole team and the individual. So do you give them feedback on that, Anderson, as well? I know you mentioned using the 360 squat.
Yeah, that was once that we've used on all of them, but obviously sometimes very hard to get all of them to do it because they prefer to do the night on their own. So what I do try to do is, as feedback, I give them to them verbally. So, for example, I had my new colleague today that was there with me first time. So it's never been with me. He has been with other people. But being with me, I feel like explain to him, I was like, you're going to go through a process with me today that if you don't like, you can explain to me. But he done really well. So at the end of the night, like I said to him, I said to him, mate, you've done excellent. You've done your work to the dot. I'm very proud of how you're doing. Hopefully, because we got for the next few nights, it's him with me. So like I said, hopefully for the next few nights, we can still progress in more of your learning in the job. He's like, oh, I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know that I've done well. And he actually was very happy for knowing it.
Okay, brilliant. So just quickly, Anderson, as well. So how would you, so just moving on from that. So obviously that's a really positive example of how you've given feedback and that's demonstrated how to, motivate a member of your team to make them feel good and hopefully do a good job.
I've always said it to higher management before. I've said acknowledging the officers is not a big thing to do, but it's very needed because it gives them the hope of, you know what, I've been seen, I am getting seen, so I'm going to perform better and better.
Yeah,
so that's what I prefer.
And that's showing really strong leadership, and so which is really good to see. As I mentioned, that's a really positive example. Can you give me any examples of how you might have had to provide constructive feedback to somebody after having maybe a more challenging conversation with somebody, if somebody hasn't perhaps done something that you'd like them to do or isn't performing the way they want to? How might you deal with that?
Okay, so I have them majority of the time. So for recently, for example, all my officers get trained the same way, and preferably, I make sure that it's me training all of them.
Yeah.
So in the sense of like when I mean training, I mean basement patrols, building patrols, acknowledging what I would see when I'm walking around the patrol.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, it's very beautiful. They listen, they do, but they obviously start doing themselves their own patrol. But what they don't understand is that the way it's been created is the reasons, because how you patrol is how you see. So obviously, at the same time as you're patrolling, you can see everything in your area without having to rewind yourself or getting lost yourself in the building.
Yeah.
At one point, I think I had an officer that started his patrol late, and then he ended there really quickly. So I just wanted to know like how come. So I went down with him and I had a walk around with him, and I realized that he wasn't doing everything I have shown him. So like I explained, obviously my issue that I have a lot with people is that I'm very young and I have a lot of people that are a lot more older than me than what they say. They think they're older than me, and obviously they like to chuck this at me saying, "Oh, I've been here with 15 years. Oh, I have done this so many, so." I get you, like I said. So I try not to be so aggressive and I try not to be so patronizing. So what I make them understand is that we're both in the same job. The only difference is that I've got a little percentage higher and I got to report to someone higher. The same way you have to report to me. So I basically there's a way I make them put themselves into my shoes, make them realize how it will feel to talk to you. And that's what I explained to him. So I'm like, look, I understand that you're trying to get yourself, like I said to my colleague, I understand you're trying to get yourself quickly done your patrol. But what you don't understand is that it's harder for me now to lie on the system to say, yeah, you've completed your patrol. Because now I'm going to have to justify how I know you completed it when I'm upstairs and I can't see. So literally, with just that, with the way I've spoken to him like that, he looked at me and he goes, bro, I didn't completely understand it like that. You see, like, I just wanted to go and do it as I thought it was night shifts.
Yeah.
It is different. Night shift and day shift is completely, one is more relaxed than the other. But at the same time, there's a lot of work that we've got to provide. It's just because you don't see it doesn't mean it ain't there. So he completely understood, and then obviously we went and done it again just for him to show me that he does remember the patrol, and he came out perfectly. So there are people that you handle wrongly. That I try not to handle wrongly. There I have situations where you raise your voice a little bit with people, but you remain just try to remain themselves, understanding that look, put yourself in my shoes and put yourself in your shoes.
Yeah.
And then now we can understand that we're not speaking to each other correctly. We're not talking to each other correctly. We're not understanding each other correctly. So I would say that's the reason why a lot of my management does like to send me to do patrols with them, because they know somehow it comes out positive when every time I walk with them, which is good. So yeah.
Okay, brilliant. That's good team building as well, Anderson, which we'll come on to. But also there's another section on the course a little bit later on called building a high performance team. So that involves very much negotiation techniques, conflict resolution strategies to becoming more emotionally intelligent, as you mentioned a little bit earlier. So I think you'll find that section interesting.
Very.
Right, what we'll do, Anderson, now we've been going for 50 minutes. So did you want to grab a 5-minute break, just to grab a tea or a coffee or a toilet break? Or...
Yeah, just to make a tea, that would be good.
Okay, mate. Okay, let's. What is the time now? So it's 52. So let's come back at 9 o'clock.
That'd be.
Let's come back at 9 o'clock and carry on the session. We'll do more of the same because this is really good evidence building. So we'll continue to work through a bit of a Q&A.
That'll be great.
allowing you to talk through and demonstrate your skills and knowledge on a lot of the criteria.
I was gonna ask, you see, as if this is recorded, right? Is there a possibility for me to have a copy of this?
I can try to send you it. Yeah, I can try to send you a link for it.
Just mostly because of the way, like, because of the layout that you're showing me and how you're doing things at the same time in the conversation. So I'm a bit,
Yeah.
I'm better at listening with my own time and taking notes than actually disturbing
Yeah,
myself.
that's it. No, that's your learning strategy. That's
Yeah.
all good. Yeah,
So yeah,
we can send you a link on that, because what I'll do, I'll be uploading this link onto your profile as evidence as well. Because through the conversation, I've structured the conversation, the questions, and it's essentially to try and meet some of the criteria. That's what we're doing right now. But I wanted it to be as natural as possible, rather than saying, right, now I'm going to ask you about this, now I'm going to ask you about that.
of course. No, that's why I was even trying to get back my notes, because it's like I said, it's been a while I've been back on my notes.
Yeah.
And the reason I've got our notes is because I really enjoyed the course. It's just I haven't had the time to put, like you said, put the focus in. But
Yeah.
now, well, the way we're speaking and the way we're doing it, honestly, it's really helping.
Okay, excellent. Right, mate. I will. Let's take a quick break and come back at 9 o'clock, and we'll do more of the same, because this is good. This is good. This is progressive. We'll also go through the EILP form as well. And before we go, I'll also upload and plan the next 2 sessions that we booked on Smart Assessor, and populate those so we know what to expect. And we'll also address the time log as well, of what we need to go on the time log. So that's what we'll do when we come back.
No worries, then, Richard.
Okay. Well, I'll see you in 5, Anderson.
5 minutes. I'm just gonna put on mute just in case obviously you hear some noises that interrupts you over there.
That's okay.
green tea.
Okay.
Go. Hello?
Okay. Can you hear me okay, Anderson?
I can hear you well.
You can. Excellent.
I can be back.
Okay. I'm just going to complete the EILP form. Anderson, it should just take a couple of minutes.
Oh, I think it's just trying to open that one.
Anderson, have you got a contact number for JJ,
I do not believe so.
or even just a control room number?
Oh no, I got the control room number, definitely. I'll give you the control room number. You should be there all the time.
And if you've got an email address for JJ as well, that would be good.
Yeah, bear with me. I'm just gonna. You want me to type it in here just now?
On the form.
The form, or you wanted me to type in the chat?
Oh, you can just let me know what it is, and I can type it in. Right?
It's jj.nob.
Yeah.
REGJ.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, G. That's it. Sorry. A, and then at bidvestnoonan.com. That's correct. .com. And his contact number for the building is now. Control room. That'll be 0203
Yeah.
640.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, 0203 640 40, yeah, and it's 2607. 07, that's correct.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, you will get a controller answer to you, and then he'll just pass you towards JJ.
As I said, Anderson, I'll email you over a copy of the appeals procedure, so you can read that. So the next time we do one of these in February, we can say that we've read and we understand it.
Completely, of course.
Do you feel you're receiving enough support with your apprenticeship, Anderson?
Yep, that's correct. Yeah.
what additional support would you like to receive, if relevant?
I would say more meetings, honestly. As you can see, it's not that I can't do the work, it's just sometimes
That's it.
I don't have it. But if you get me in the meeting, I'm there. I'm ready to do anything I can. Sorry, if you give me 1 second, I'm just having a phone call from my mom. Ready.
So upcoming objectives, Anderson, will be, so for January, we're building portfolio evidence and work. So really that's what I'll need you to do after today, Anderson, if that's okay.
Okay.
Just look back, and we'll go through that in a second. We'll look back at the resources that has been assigned, as long as the assignments and workbooks to complete, and it's just putting the time in to get those done and uploading them to Smart Assessor.
Exactly. No, that's why I've just got you. Just put down your name on my email so I can see what you sent me. We can go, depending on what I need to do first. I'll just go and do it.
Okay. February is going to be mastering for presentation at endpoint assessment. And then March will be, where is it? Preparing for the endpoint assessment discussion. So these are the two things that you'll need to basically demonstrate and go through at Gateway endpoint assessment, Anderson. So we need to make sure we're well prepped for these. And it's just knowing the course criteria and going over the portfolio of work to make sure you're confident with it all.
Understood, no worries. I'm just reading what you're writing.
So just popping in short term, medium, because then come April, Anderson, you'll be done with the course. So you don't need to worry about this stuff again.
Hopefully. No, but I actually enjoy it. Listen, that's why I want to study and finish it, because I actually enjoy it. So hopefully it does.
Well, look, I was going to say, look, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, and because I want to solely focus on this course at the moment. But you can always look at You can always look at other courses after this.
Of course.
If you enjoy learning and you understand the importance of self-development, there's other courses that we can put you on, potentially. So look, that's something we can look at as well.
Definitely, no, definitely, Rich. I'm up for that one. Let's just get this one out of the way, like you said. Let's not get our heads up. I hope so.
Okay, so comments. So the rest of this, as I said, Anderson, the rest of this month is going to go towards building portfolio evidence. That's really you just completing assignments, resources, getting those uploaded to Smart Assessor, getting as much work done as possible and uploaded so I can map that in. As I say, all of that is in previous sessions that we've booked, including today's as well. So it's just a case of you working through those whenever possible and uploading them and getting through them. What I would say is because the next session isn't until February the 3rd, I would be inclined to, when's that? That's like a month. So I'd be inclined to book in maybe a catch-up session with you in like 2 weeks' time.
No, of course. That's what I was trying to say to you in the beginning.
Even if that's just a half hour, Anderson, to summarise how you're getting on, what else do we need to do at this point, just to make sure we're staying on track.
Of course. Like I said, we could even do these morning ones, or if you want another day off, I'm off, which is the 12th. Probably do it in the full day. Just speak about how it is in case you need an hour. Because to be honest, I just want to know exactly what I got to finish first, and from there just keep do.
Yeah.
So that by the time I have a meeting with you, I can say, look, Richard, this is what I got, and then at least another conversation we have like this one today, I can explain myself better. That's
it. I'll go through that. 4-day sessions and 1 March coursework.
Literally whatever. Like I said, right now I'm just on nights for that same reason, so I can get more morning time.
Right. That's the EILP signed off. Okay, so that is done. Okay.
Do you see, Richard? What is that well-being?
The well-being. So you've got documents in there, and you can access those. Basically, there's a lot of there's hot topics. Like this week or this month's hot topic is kind of safeguarding in and around like the Holocaust, and it's things to do with that.
Okay.
So you can click on any of these at any time, and that will lead you to things. It might be a video, it might be a document to read through, it might be like a wellbeing booklet.
Okay. All right then.
But you can find those on our website, Anderson, as well, in the student corner.
You see the student corner. After I finish in April and complete, do I still get access to it?
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest.
I've got an account with you, and the account should be finished, so it shouldn't be able to give me.
Yeah, possibly. I honestly, I don't know the answer to that.
No worries.
But I can find out for you.
Yeah, if you can. That's fine. No worries. Like I said, in the meantime, I can still use this to just read. It's not a necessity, isn't it? It's just something if I want to read.
Yeah, that's it. And look, there is a lot of resources on there as well, which is it's a really useful site and a really useful tool to have.
Of course.
Because it contains loads of information, not just on wellbeing, but on issues of the day, essential topics, health and safety, safeguarding, equality and diversity, things that are in the news every day that we're dealing with.
Definitely. You see this 10 overdue activities and actions.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay, good.
Don't worry about that. They're going to be actions that I've set over the last couple of months that we haven't got around to doing.
Okay.
We'll we can edit that once we feel they've been adhered to, once they've been done.
Of course, no worries.
Now, the next thing I want to focus on, Anderson, is the time log. So do you understand what the time log is and how to input data into it?
I'll say yes a little bit and no, because sometimes.
Okay, so I'm in your time log now, Anderson. Can you see that? Okay.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so we can see that we're on 52 hours at the moment. Now, what I'll do, as well as the email you over the appeals procedure, I'll also resend you the off-the-job hours checklist.
I think I've got that already. Is that not the?
Yeah, you should have that already.
That GPO off list and the service log.
Yeah. Yeah, so you should have the off-the-job hours checklist, which is now. My other bit of advice to you would be, as well as completing the assignments and resources, would be to access the off-the-job hours checklist. In fact, that's I'm going to try and find that now.
I've got it here.
Oh, you've got it there. Brilliant.
So any meeting sessions, audits.
Yeah. That's it. So.
Because we do audits every month at the end of the month.
Yeah. So, look, anything that you do related to any of this stuff, Anderson, my advice would be open this document and even print it off if you're able to print it off.
Yeah.
And just start making notes against every subheading of what you can start to include. So the amount of time it takes you to complete course assignments. So after today, when we set you some work to do, log the amount of time it takes you to do that.
Okay.
And we can add that to off-the-job hours. If you've got any guided mentor or coach visits, you mentioned you've had to take a new guy through some stuff this morning.
Okay, so that's me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
anytime you give any coaching or mentoring to staff or new training, then you can add that to your time log.
And what would you write? Just like say mentoring the colleague.
Exactly that. And we'll go through that. We'll go through that in a second. Any in-house training that you've done. So any COVID training, any CCTV training, any specific security training that you've done.
Okay. So
safeguarding, health and safety, anything like that that's related to that's skills related.
Of course. Perfect.
You can add.
Okay, great. Because I've just recently done another one as well. That's the reason we'll be so behind.
Okay. Any shadowing or mentoring that you've done with if you've done any work with JJ or higher managers? Any meetings that you've done with them regarding one-to-ones or performance reviews or audits?
So for example, like what I was just saying,
as well.
Because like I said, I've got a management.
Yeah.
Each team of each night has a management with them. So there's a manager and there's a supervisor.
Yeah.
So the meetings that I have with him, can I log them in as well? Because there's times that we actually speak about, like, for example, what we're going to do for the next few days, the team, what we're going to have, make sure that we obviously train certain team members. He's the one that obviously makes me the one that we talk about.
Yeah.
Can I add them
Yeah, add those. Any workshops or masterclasses that you've attended, any learning support. So support provided by Bidvest or by your site.
Okay, so that's a lot. Okay. Lovely. I've got them all here. Ongoing endpoints assessment.
So this goes on. So learning support, any support provided, all of this stuff, Anderson, you can add.
Understood.
Okay, the other thing will be, or the good thing for us is, you can also retrospectively add anything. So anything going back to the start of your course, you can add this stuff.
Because this is what I'm trying to say. Every month since I started, we've been doing audits every end of the month because we have to. It's something that's part of us. So I would say I've done about 12 months, but I would say about 6 hours each year that I've been working. Can I put that down? But each as 1 hour, or do I need to have the day?
So from when you first started the course, Anderson, I'm trying to find out when that was.
Oh. On Smart Assessor, isn't it?
It is on Smart Assessor, yeah.
I would say the 5th of the 11th, maybe a bit earlier than that. November times.
It was. It was the 28th of September, 2020. So I would say you can go back to October 2020, and anything on that off the job hours checklist that you've done since October 2020, you can add.
Now, does that need? So I need to find so my work, or can I just from the head of mind remember it?
Either or, both. Both is fine, yeah.
Yeah. Now all I gotta do is just go back on my folders, literally.
That's it.
And then I'll get it work.
Okay, so what we'll do is you can go to your time log.
Log.
Click on that.
Correct.
And how to add an entry is you can go to add time log entry. So the pink button in the center of the screen down the bottom.
Yep.
And you can select date. Now, if you can't remember exact dates that you've done things, then my advice is to pull them. Now, for example, Anderson, if you're saying you're having a meeting every week that might last an hour, so you're doing that 4 or 5 times in every month.
Yeah,
my advice is rather than adding 5 different entries, I would add the entries for a month.
And then you put down the note of what it is.
Does that make sense?
Of course.
So, for example, for this month, I might just put down the last working day of the month. So you'd put down the 31st, and you've done.
Because there's a lot of things they're saying. Gain experience from doing my job.
Yeah.
Guiding learner with no trainer.
So you can put down select activity type.
Others.
Other, or whatever the most relevant thing that you think it's the off the job checklist relates to. Select course will be APO3 team leader supervisor.
Right.
Select unit will be general. The assessor will be myself. Was it on the job? It was off the job. So always put this down as off the job.
Off the job.
That's it.
So when you're on the job, when me and you.
No, so sessions like we're doing now, this is off the job.
Oh, this is off the job.
This is off the job, so we can add these sessions as well. So anytime you've had a session with a trainer, i.e. me or whoever was before that, you can include those as well.
I have a question. Can I put? No, I'll put that down tomorrow tonight. With everything I done yesterday with the paperwork, because I can put that down now, right?
Yeah, you can put that down now.
I just roughly don't. I don't remember the exact timing though. So can I say
That's
about?
okay. That's okay. As long as you remember the month, thereabouts,
It
so
literally
we can
yes.
justify it. Then time spent on activity. Now, for example, rather than what I would do if you're having a weekly meeting that's going to take an hour, rather than adding all these different entries, at this point I would add 4 hours, for example, and then I would write in times 4, 1 hour weekly meeting with management, or whatever that looks like. And that's what I would add. So you're adding so you're adding, where are we now? So October 2000. So you're adding like 13 months worth of, so you're adding 13 entries.
Imagine
Right.
I spent 4 hours just today doing what I was doing. That's what I was gonna put that now. That's sorting out the rota for the next few months.
Yeah.
Budgeting on uniform.
But if there's, but do you understand what I'm saying, Anderson? With pooling these entries, because otherwise, it's if you do individual entries, this is going to take you an age to.
I know. Of course. This one is mostly like for, like you said, the monthly basis of meetings and what I do in 1 month.
Meetings, audits, anything that you do multiple times in a month, pool all the entries into one entry into that month.
Okay. So for example, now you see how you wrote that it's doing weekly meetings. That's an hour of a meeting. So let's say that in that day of that 1 hour that I done that meeting, I've also done another hour of work. With that add-on, instead of 4, it would be at 5. But then I would just write 1 hour of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, you're saying is so 4 hours, like you wrote 4 hours times 1 weekly, and then I'll put another one down saying 1 hour weekly doing this and this and that.
Yeah, and you can go back from now every single month to October 2020, and you can add that.
Now the question is,
you're gonna have 13 entries of 5 hours, so that's going to bulk out your time. But my advice is go next to every everything on the off the job hours checklist and try and write something down as example. Right, whether you do it daily, weekly, monthly, as a one-off, and then spend a little bit of time, I would say sooner rather than later, updating the time log. Now, it might take you an hour or so, but once it's done,
it will do it.
Once it's done, that's going to be easier to manage going forward. So we need to get up towards kind of 85%.
So you see the calculation you just done now, which is the 13. It's 13 months from now to when I started, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's okay. Now I got it. Now I understand where you're getting the numbers from. Okay, cool. Definitely. No worries.
So the total number of off-the-job hours required on your course is 487. So realistically, because we're 85% of the way through the course now, we need to be on about 400 hours at this point.
No, I can do it definitely. But I'm gonna exactly how I'm gonna do it, like you said.
So that would be my advice, Anderson. Okay. Just going to go back to the dashboard, and okay, what I'm going to go through, Anderson, is your learning plan. So this is the last thing that we're going to do, because I'll be honest, for whatever reason, my laptop looks as though it's about to die with the battery. So.
No worries. No, honestly, I feel like I've got a lot of information in this 2 hours.
Look, can you see my screen now, Anderson?
Where are you now?
So I'm on your dashboard, your learning plan. So these are all the sessions that we've had planned in.
Yeah.
On each date going back, so this is session number 23 today. So today's date. If you open where it says Team Leader AP03, you should be able to see that there's an assignment and some resources there.
Just bear with me. There you go, learning plan. Sorry.
So if you go to your dashboard.
That's it. I'm here.
And then the blue box on the right-hand side.
Are we picking today's date? Yeah.
That's it. And wherever it says Team Leader AP03, just open that tab up and you'll see that there's assignments and resources assigned.
Okay.
And these are what you'll need to complete for the rest of January.
For the rest of January.
For the remainder of January, these are what we need to complete.
So if I complete these, what's next?
If you complete all of them, let me know, and I'll assign more.
Oh yeah, straight away, definitely. Because this looks like just a quick couple of pages, no?
Well, this is just today's. There's going to be a lot more. So that's just today's session. If we go back to the last session on the 17th of November and open up the Team Leader tab, you'll see that there's more. So there's a communication assignment and there's a lot more resources there and a workbook as well.
Great. And that one is where?
So all of these will be on the page that we're on now. So we're on the drop down menu on your learning plan. So it's got all the sessions that you've had.
Every meeting that I've had with you, you've put on the work.
Correct.
I can see that.
All you need to do is go to Team Leader Supervisor AP03, open up that tab, and it will show you the resources. And then you go down to the last session we had, which was the 17th of November, session 21. Open up the tab, and that will give you access to all of those resources and assignments.
I'm going all the way back to like the 10th. Well, our first meeting with you.
So yeah, I'd be going back.
But obviously, what you want me to do first is complete it from top to bottom, or you want to go from bottom to top?
I mean, my preference would probably be bottom to top, Anderson. But at this point, I wouldn't.
No, of course.
I prefer it to do it in order because it kind of makes sense to do it in order.
It gives it to you, yeah. Because the last one I've got from you would be the 7th of the 10th, 21. So not the one, yeah, the 7th. I think that's from there.
That's it. So that's the first one that we did. That was a formal review.
And then from
so
there,
after that, so we did session number 19 on the 22nd of October. So there's resources assigned to that. So if you could fill all those out. So we see that you've opened some of those actually already. They just need completing.
I think I've already completed. See, so for example, the one that you just have there, which is a diversity in the workplace, I've got that on the little sheet. I can put that through.
Yeah. So all of these sessions.
Is it possible for me to send it through email to you, and then you can check it and then tell me if it's correct, and then if not, so.
Absolutely.
Great. Because I've got all of that in folders. Definitely, no worries, Richard. I'm going to do that tonight.
Absolutely. So that would be my advice, Anderson. Work through as many of those resources as possible.
Perfect. The question is just to focus on exactly this what you're showing me now. What is that?
Just this. Just focus on getting all of these assignments and resources completed. Upload them to Smart Assessor, and I'll map them in.
So you see this off problem solving assignment, and apparently it's ticked off. What does that mean?
That just means that's something that I've assigned to you.
Right. Okay. Definitely. No, I'm all for that. So from the 7th to the 10th, go up, starting. If I have an issue with, like, for example, maybe a booklet or two,
yeah,
can I leave them for the next meeting so we both can work on it?
Yeah, that's fine, mate. So the catch-up meeting that we have in 2 weeks. If anything you're unsure of, we can address it then, and then we can go through it. But just between now and then, just try and get as much done as possible.
No worries. No, of course. How did you get? Is that everything you sent me?
Yeah, I'm just adding some more bits as well.
Oh, okay. So that's your own. Okay, cool. No worries. And if you can send me this video for today as well, so I can just start using.
Yeah, if I can,
Oh,
sometimes because the length of the video is really long, it doesn't always allow me to send it, but I'll try and find a way of doing that. So as you can see, Anderson, there is a lot of resources and assignments to get done, but I mean, a lot of the resources are like 2-minute videos that you can work through.
Just quick one. But the ones that I recently got just now, I was reading them now. The high textbooks, these are ones that are going to be the difficult ones.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the way that, or how you're going to get the marks really is through the resources. Just help you complete the assignments and the workbooks, but it's the assignments and workbooks that are going to get you the progress, the percentage progress.
Yeah, because you put more hours in it, of course. Received.
Okay, I think that's enough. Okay, so you've got quite a lot to be getting on with there, Anderson. But
You say you're not going to sugarcoat it.
Look, that's I'm just trying to manage your expectation. There's still a lot of work to do, you know.
I can imagine. No, for storage, like I said, that is all on the Smart Assessor, right? What you just clicked on.
That's everything is on Smart Assess that you need to complete between now and February the 3rd.
The question is the emails that you've got from me, which is the English support.
Yeah.
And which the last one, I mean, the first one you sent me, which was on the 10th of the 5th. So that was on October, I think it is, yeah, October the 5th.
Yeah.
I got English support revision, I think it's put. 1 second. Yeah, reading, I got English support. Writing.
Yeah, what I'd say, Anderson, don't worry too much about the stretching challenge stuff at the moment. Like the support stuff for English and maths. We need our focus needs to be on completing the portfolio of work.
That's the APO3.
Yeah, APO3. But look, any questions on any of this stuff, just phone me or text, and we'll go through it.
Because the reason I'm saying is just I've got a lot of emails from you saying all these things, so I don't really want to just focus on the emails. I might as well just jump onto this and start finishing off.
Exactly that.
Understood. No worries.
Exactly that. Right. Let's. I will put in the next 2 meetings that we've put in, which are it's the 3rd and the 21st, isn't it?
That's correct. Yeah.
The 3rd and the 21st. I'll update Smart Assessor, Anderson, with those meetings, and I'll send you meeting planners for those. I'll also email you over the appeals procedure document. That's a quick read.
Yeah.
But I'd say at this point,
So with the disturbance log, it's not the same as just logging it in on time log.
How is it different? Sorry.
Is a difference? Is there a difference?
Between what? Sorry.
The disturbance log and the time log.
Oh yeah, they're 2 different things.
So the disturbance log is, can I still add the same thing, like for example?
Just my advice, just focus on the time log now.
No worries, definitely understood.
Okay, so with the 7th today,
right.
Shall I give you a call in 2 weeks' time, Anderson, just to see how you're getting on?
For the 21st, yeah.
21st, yeah.
Yeah, a little call in the morning would be great, definitely.
And we'll do the same time, mate. We'll do 8 o'clock.
That'll be great.
If that's okay. I'll put the session down as an hour, but I suspect it might only be 15-20 minutes, hopefully, just to catch up, see how you're getting on. But I'd rather just touch base rather than leave it a month.
No, of course.
Okay. $21st, 8 o'clock. Okay, right, Anderson. That is that's everything we need basically. Once I get more information about how we're gonna do the stuff in February and March, I'll let you know.
No worries. No worries. I'm more clear than what I was before, so I know exactly what I need to be doing now.
I'll send it over so you know exactly what you need to do. But otherwise, it's your focus is getting the time log updated to like 400 hours. And it's always just working your way through all of these resources and assignments, get them uploaded to Smart Assessor. I will then map them in and sign them off as evidence. And that's going to move up our percentage. But as I say, once I know more about what February and March will involve, I'll let you know.
No worries. No, like I said, I'll send you over some dates through March as well, as I'm doing the road for the next few days anyways.
Brilliant. Yeah, let me know. But that's the date. I think your date is the end of March. I think it's the 22nd, which is the end date. So that's our target at this point.
That's the complete end date, yeah?
That's the complete end date. But really, I want to get everything kind of tied up and done halfway through March. So it gives us like a week's window to tie up anything that we need to.
March, what was it again? Sorry.
March 22nd.
22nd.
That's the end date. But ideally, yeah, halfway through March, I want everything. I'd like everything done if possible. So we've got a week to kind of play with at the end.
Understood. No, definitely. Don't worry, Richard. I'm going to do this as soon as I get home.
Are you happy with everything that we've gone through there?
Honestly,
you're happy with what you need to do, and
very happy.
Excellent.
And it's much clearer now, honestly.
As I say, any issues, let me know. Anything you're unsure of,
Yes.
leave out, and we can catch up on the 21st about it.
Yeah.
But the rest of the time, it's getting through those assignments and workbooks and resources and getting the assignments and workbooks loaded up to Smart Assessor so I can map them in.
Understood. No, of course.
Right, Anderson. Always good to see you. Thank you for your time this morning. And yeah, I'll leave you to crack on with those bits, mate. Best of luck with them.
Definitely. So literally just get the work done. There's no signing off, nothing. We've signed everything off.
Once you've completed an assignment or a workbook,
send it to you,
or a textbook, you can either send it to me or you can upload it on Smart Assessor.
See, with the Smart Assessor with the upload, if we can do that probably in the catch-up meeting.
Yeah. Okay.
Where was that again? On the 21st, isn't it?
21st.
21st of this month. We have a little catch-up, just because I want you to show me, obviously, how to do it.
Yeah.
I keep having issues with that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, there is work already that I have that says that the ones that I've opened, I've got them already, and I've tried to put them on myself.
Yeah, we can do that as well.
On how to upload. Perfect. Okay, then we check it. So.
Okay, so we'll go. If you focus on getting those workbooks, assignments, textbooks completed, and using the resources to help you complete them, and then we'll get all of those uploaded. That's what we'll do on the 21st, and we'll see your percentage jump up significantly. Hopefully by then I'll have an idea of what we're going to do in February and March, and we can finalise the plan and know exactly what we're going to do in every single session.
One more question. What about the other thing called Cognisys? Well, I forgot. Cognisys. That's the one.
Yeah. Again, it's something we need to do, but that's
later.
That's not our focus right now.
No worries. I've got this mission. Let's do this.
Yeah. Cool. Right, Anderson. I will leave you to it.
Okay.
And any issues, let me know.
No worries. Will do. Oi. Right, then, Richard. So I just hang up.
That's it. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Love talking to you again.
And best of luck getting through the work, mate. I know we can do it. We'll get there.
No, I won't disappoint you. Trust me, I won't. Richard, you work too hard for pushing me, so I'm going to show you the work.
Okay, good man. Thanks, Anderson.
You have a good day.
Take care, mate. You too.